Welcome everyone to our last class in this block of 6 weeks. After this class, we'll have a little break of 2 weeks, and then our next block will begin after that. But I'll be sending out an email newsletter over the period. So let's begin with our invocation. So sitting up tall, either on the floor or in your chair, feel that you're well connected to the ground directly or through this chair, and draw yourself up a little taller using a bit of muscle power. So sitting away from the back of the chair if you're on a chair. We're going to bring our hands into Hakini Mudra. That is the palms separate and all the fingertips touching together. This signifies wholeness, harmony, wholeness. So for our first Om, we'll hold this mudra and then move on to the various mudras as usual. So feeling the touch, bringing right side, left side together, shoulders relaxed. And take a breath. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we create strength and abundance. May we work together with great vigor. May we grow in clarity, wisdom, and peace. And again. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we create strength and abundance. May we work together with great vigor. May we grow in clarity, wisdom, and peace. Let's work a little on our hands. So straighten out elbows and circle your wrists around. If you can manage it, then ankles circling at the same time. Try both directions. And then interlock your fingers in front of your heart. Sit up tall, take a breath in. Feel the chest expand. And now pushing your hands down between the thighs. Exhale. We'll do that again. Inhale, hands on the chest. Exhale, hands push down, shoulders low. And inhale back to the heart, this time pushing out in front. Exhale. And inhale to the heart. Same again. Exhale. And inhale to the heart. And exhale here. And then inhale, spread open and lift up out of your seat. And come back to the heart. Let's do that again. Interlock, inhale, push down, exhale. Shoulders low, long through the neck. And inhale back to the heart. One more like that. Inhale, now pushing forward at shoulder level. Firm in the abdomen. And back to the heart. Exhale, push away. And hands resting on the heart. Inhale and exhale here. and then spread and lift and let it go. We're going to practice another breath called the structural breath. I'll change to speak of you. Structural breath it's a little bit counterintuitive. Well, for me it is. Maybe it's not for singers, perhaps. It involves trying to expand the fullest part of the chest first. And it's like a 360-degree expansion. So if we start by exhaling first, that will help to empty the lungs. So just hands resting, take a breath in, and then as firmly as you can, empty your lungs, pulling in below the navel. And then maybe put your hands on your ribs and visualize a hot air balloon filling and rising. And then exhale, squeeze the abdominal muscle to help to push the air out. And in your mind, image of a hot air balloon puffing up, front and back ribs, side ribs expanding. And go again to exhale. So keep working with the image of the hot air balloon expanding and your chest doing the same. And a powerful exhalation. It can be really slow, really long. And then that 360 spherical almost expansion. Keep going. We'll do 4 more breaths like this. So it's very slow and controlled. And it helps to have an image of that sphere expanding and lifting. Sometimes we see some very colorful hot air balloon sailing above this in the sky above Canberra. Fill your rib cage like a hot air balloon. One more. And after that exhalation's finished, then just sit quietly and notice how you feel. We're going to gradually warm up other parts of the body, and I'd suggest you come to stand. If you like to stand holding onto the back of a chair, we'll do some leg swinging. So with or without the reassurance of a chair to hold onto, swing one leg forward and back. Or maybe you're standing near the wall, standing up very tall, feeling the activation of the muscles in your standing leg. So consciously grip. So I'm standing on my right and I'm feeling the right thigh all around the right hip joint, glute. They're the real stabilizing forces. And now with this same leg, we're going to lift the knee in front and take it to the side. Come back to the front. Then lower the knee and take the knee back. So you're tightening the glute, the top of the glute, and the back of the hamstring. Do that again. Lift in front and swing out to the side. Back in front. And then Knee drops down and moves back behind the line of the trunk. So quite slowly, and you've got that stabilizing hand on the wall or the chair to the side, in front, then knee down and drawing back. Squeeze the glute and the hamstring. And then shake that leg, shake both legs, jiggle about a bit, some hip circles. So we're working on waking up the leg and hip muscles so that we can do a little standing work. Let's move to the other side. So forwards and back to begin with. And consciously contracting the support muscles on the other hip. See what range you have available. And then give it a shake, and then we'll move on to the forwards and sideways action. So once again, link your brain to the support. Stand up tall and lift the knee in front, and then to the side, in front, down and back. Do a couple of repetitions, standing up very tall, so not sinking, but open chest, in front, down and squeeze. Lift in front, to the side, front, and down and back, and squeeze the glute and try and take that thigh well back. And then foot to the floor, shake loose, little circling. I should have mentioned that Meryl is not with us this morning because there's a very special family occasion. Her daughter is receiving a medal at Government House from the Governor General. So Meryl's got other things on her mind right now. Okay, time to take your strap. I'm just going to leave the chair aside. So we'll do some movements for the spine that involve the strap. So I've just got mine doubled up so it's not flapping around. And then I'll take the hands behind, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then pull the shoulders forward so the strap is tight behind the legs. So turn the arms out, squeeze the shoulder blades, firm the buttocks, lift the chest, and then rounding the spine. And your awareness is following, noticing all of the contractions, the parts that are opening and stretching, the parts that are tightening and contracting. We'll just go slowly, do a few more. So in this rounded position, we're exhaling, pulling in the belly, and then lifting up, standing very tall, pulling the shoulder blades back. One more like that. So exhaling, then last inhalation, arms reach back, open the chest, and exhale. Shoulders shrugging forwards. And let it go. Shake everything loose so there's no tension remaining. And then we're going to do some side bending. So I'm just extending my arms, tipping to the side and looking down to that side, and then lifting vertically. And now, so that left arm reaches out as I tip to the right. So side bending a spinal mobility movement, combining with neck movement. Looking down as the shoulder drops. Okay, next time we're going to move on to our forward bend. Soften your knees, lower the chest, raise the arms up, and then soften the knees to stand up straight. And this time lift the chest. So we'll do that again. Knees bend, lower the chest, raise your arms overhead, just see what's available, and then lift up and raise the chest, reach the arms back. We'll do that one more time. So bend the knees, lower your chest, lift up and over. And then chest comes upright and gradually lift up to the sky and relax the shoulders and shrug. So roll your shoulders around. Let's just put those two together. So side bend to one side bend to the other side, then the forward bend, and then lifting the chest. So extend the arms, take a breath in and out. Then inhale, tip to the side, turn the head. Inhale upright to the other side, looking down, upright. Now forward bend, so bend your knees, roll your chest down and let the arms swing over. And then carefully coming upright again. And draw the arms back, lift up the chest. And release. Shrug your shoulders again. Just leave the strap aside for now. Take some Kati Chakrasan. So relax your shoulders, soft neck, tall through your posture. And if you want to make it more vigorous, raise the arms. A bit more of a spring in your swing. So support through the belly. This is great for your spine. The discs, keeping them hydrated and shock absorbing. Now we're going to do a big reaching out. So stretch and reach across the body and to the other side. So lift up one heel, stretch across. We'll do that a couple of times. So full stretch. Then I'll give you a couple of choices. If you're ready to come down to the floor, do some chakra bakasana. If you think, no, I'd like to stay close by my chair, then here's an option. If I hold the chair this way, so we're working on the spine and using the arms a little. I'll show you what I'm thinking. So first of all, the deep forward bend, and then I'm going to come forward and I'm lifting up my chest and the hips are sinking down. And then I need to step my feet under so I can go back into that, what's like a child pose in a standing position. And then I'm traveling forward, sternum lifting, looking up. So that's one option. If it's too strong for you, you could do this version, keeping your hands higher. So it's less intense, and you could step in with one foot and still get that same chest lifting effect. And then the length in the spine. So there's a couple of different versions. Floor version would be child pose with arms extended. And then shoulders travel forward, lifting up, raised chest. So lots of movement for the spine, whichever version you choose. And doing some weight bearing on the arms and shoulders is not a bad idea either. Then take a little pause and just see how your spine is going after that. And we work with goddess pose. Goddess pose is a fun sort of thing to do. We come to the mat with the feet spread very wide and let your toes turn out a little. So feel yourself to be stable. You've got feet angled out a bit, arms by your side. Take a breath in, raise the arm. So chest is wide open. And now hands in arms in cactus arms, bend the knees. So take your knees out wide, work the hip muscles. And then inhale, rise up tall, exhale, cactus arms, knees bending into that goddess squat. If your shoulders are uncomfortable today, you could do all this with your hands clasped behind your back, working the hips, keeping the posture very tall. We'll do a few more. Inhale. Feel how your spine lifts up out of the hips. And then firm the abdomen. Work your hip muscles. 2 more. Inhale. Squatting down as low as feasible. And this time, we're going to hold the squat and pull a really ugly face and shake out your wrists. Be a Scottish. And then let it go. Straighten the legs. Move your feet now so they're parallel and come into a forward bend. So ease your way down. Relax your shoulders down, head low. And then gradually unwind your spine. Come to stand. We'll do that same thing again. We'll do 3 repetitions on the breath. So inhale, standing up tall, and then exhale, squatting. And on the 4th one, we'll stay and hold the squat for, say, 3 or 4 breaths. So inhale, spread your chest, reach for the sky. Exhale, knees out wide, press your knees out. Inhale. Exhale. So open the knees wide, firm the belly. Number 3, expand the chest and squat. Okay, next time we're going to hold the squat. Devi Jai Utkatasana. A Devi is a goddess. Utkatasana is a squat. We're in goddess squat. Feel your shoulder blades against the ribs. Looking directly forward. Feel the strength of your quadriceps in the thighs. And then release. Swing your heels out so your feet are parallel. Take a forward bend. You might like to swing your weight to one side and then go across one knee, bending the other leg straight. And then gently unwind and keep your legs extended wide base. And we'll rotate the chest to the left. Take your right hand and press your left shoulder around a bit. And then come back, take your left hand to the right shoulder. And let your eyes track. So you're observing everything as your eyes follow that arc around. This is called the orienting response. So it's an old, ancient, ingrained pattern where we look out into our environment, check that all is well, no danger lurking, and then come back to face the front. And I'm going to swing my right foot over so that I can take warrior 1. So you might need to adjust your base. So the left foot is angled slightly and the right foot pointing along the line of the mat. Bring your hands onto your heart and take your awareness. The heart is the center for the wind element or our spirit. And you could think of inhaling, opening up the heart, making space and gathering spirit into the heart. So inhale, bend the front knee, spread the arms wide and gather wind, spirit into your heart. And we'll do that twice more. Inhale, front knee bends, sternum lifts, and bring an armful of life force, spirit into your own heart. Last one. Open and gather. Let the hands rest over the heart. Bow the head, so chin to chest, and then reach the arms back, holding elbows behind. Keep the front legs straight and gradually lower your chest into Parsvottanasana. So your spine might be parallel to the floor, or if you want, drop deeper. And then gradually bend that front knee, Bring your chest upright, step the back foot up, shake out the legs. So thinking of our heart as the center of our being, who we are seems to live there. And when we consider the elements in relation to yoga, the base chakra, Muladhara, is associated with grounding and earth element. And the second chakra, the sacral chakra, is concerned with water energy. The third one at the navel is related to fire energy, fire and transformation. And our heart is the one connected with air, moving air, wind, spirit. You might equate wind with spirit. So let's take it on the other side. So we're going to step up with the left and begin with your hands just resting on your heart. And each time the hands come back to the heart, alternate which one touches first. So keep that in mind. There's a few points of focus. So hands above the heart, just feeling that touch, in being in connection with your own prana. And then bend the front knee, open, lift the heart, gather prana, gather wind and spirit, and bring it back into your chest, into your heart, and changing which hand touches first. Inhale. Exhale. Lower the chin as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Bend the knee. Knee is pointing to the second or third toe. Exhale. Gather and press that life force into your heart space. And then we'll move forward, reach your arms behind. You could be in namaskar with your palms pressed together, either fingers up or down, or holding elbows, keeping the front legs straight. Lower your chest down. For a few breaths. And then when you're ready, gradually unwind, release, shake out, little hip circles. Small rhythmic movements seem to be surprisingly delicious and helpful. So small rhythmic hip circles, like a very slow motion hula hoop. And while your hips are circling, circle your wrists. And then reverse the direction of wrists and hips. And then I invite you to come down to the floor or to sit in a chair. I'm thinking that we'll just do a few things on the floor before Shavasana. But if, floor work is just not your thing today, then you could work on the chair. So here's an option, a cobra, that's going to further open our heart. So if you're coming to the floor, hands are beneath the shoulders. Take a breath, pull elbows back, Expand the chest. Point the toes. And then release down. Again, inhale. Elbows back. Lift the hands. And release down. So a powerful back strengthener and heart opener. I've lifted my palms right off the floor, pointing the toes back and release. On the last one, we'll stay for a few breaths. And then release, stretch out the arms. Turn the head. And then let's roll over to lie on the back or take a position on the chair where you can lengthen your spine. So we're going to inhale, stretch the arms behind the head, push both feet to the ceiling. Exhale, hug the knees. So if you like that, inhale, pushing the feet up and arms stretching way back. Exhale. Rock and hug. And then crossing the wrists. So now your hands are on the opposite knee, and we're going to lift up the right knee and take the left arm. So contralateral movements. And then release. And then right hand and left foot. And release. Just a little side to side rocking. And we'll take a universal spinal twist. So do some sort of supported twist. If you're on the chair, I'm going to hug my left knee into the chest and squeeze, and then guide the left knee across the midline to the right, turning my head to look to that left hand. And let it go. Hug the left knee in close. If you want to, lift your head and shoulders as well. And then we'll do that one more time. So universal spinal twist, rotating, head turning to the opposite side while the knee goes to the right. And then hug both knees. Move around on your back. And then we'll change the second side. So right knee, hug that one in. And then bring the knee across the midline over to the left. And all the while, the grounded leg is active. Hug in. And one more rotation. And squeeze the knee to chest, lift up head and shoulders as well. And then relax, straighten your legs out, or relax if you're in a chair. And we're just going to do a little chest massage. So use your fingers and rake the muscles that are in between your ribs, the intercostals. So see if you can press in between those little gaps in between your ribs. The low ones, reach around to the side as far as you can. Thumbs reaching towards the back. Just finding those little spaces where the intercostal muscles that facilitate the rib expansion, and then work up really high. So above the breasts, find the little rib spaces above the breasts, firm pressure. And massage right up into the trapezius, the upper trapezius, the angle between the neck and shoulders. And then light tapping above the heart, where your thymus gland is. So fingertips tapping in the center of your chest. Thymus gland is part of our immune system. Generates the T cells. So we've got to keep our thymus gland in good shape. Light tapping on the thymus. And then we're going to keep on tapping. So tap under your eyes. If you want to sit to do this, then maybe that's a good idea. I'm tapping lightly right under the iris of the eye on that cheekbone or the orbit bone. And then tap under your nose and below the mouth in that crease, below the lower lip. Tap under the collarbones. Give the thymus another tap. And come out to the side of your rib cage. So where your side seam is, if you had side seams, you're reaching somewhat, maybe 10 centimeters below your armpits. Tap in there. And then tap on the crown of your head. And let's just do another little round of tapping with an intention in mind. So if you have some aggravation, some load you're carrying, we'll first tap on the side of the hand at the karate chop point. Some, pain, some disappointment, some thing that's really aggravating you. We're tapping on the side of the hand, and this sends a very calming signal to the amygdala, the early warning system of the brain, and expressing your intention to let that go. Release the pain, the difficulty as you tap on the side of your hand and shed whatever it is that's troubling you. And then tap at the eyebrow center. So the inner corners of eyebrows, tap, let it go. Tap under the eyes, side of the eyes. We should have done that first. So outer corners of the eyes, tap under the eyes, below the nose, under the mouth, collarbones, another tap on the thymus, center of the chest, side of the ribs, so below the armpits, and then tap on the crown of the head. And let your hands come to rest over your heart. Just take slow breaths. And allow each exhalation to run right out to the end. There's no hurry. And let's do a last heart opening breath. I'm just going to change my seat so I'm comfortable. So hands resting above the chest, shoulders low. Inhale, gently open your arms out to the side and gather life force and enfold that into your heart. Again, inhale, a little lift of the sternum, gather and bring in life force, prana, into your heart. We'll do that a few more times. Heart lifts as you open the arms. Lower the chin a little and seal that prana, that life force, into your heart space. Alternating which hand touches first. Keep going with the image of reaching out into the universe, into the greater, and gathering. Bring it into your individual self. So releasing the individual self, connecting with the universal whole as you open, and bring it in to your individual self. Last one. Reach out to the wider, to the universal, and bring some of that into your heart. Lower the chin, take a few quiet breaths. And when you're ready, move into a relaxing shavasana on your back or in your chair, if that's better for you. So if you're lying on the floor, make sure you're warm and quite straight. Forehead higher than chin. So grab yourself a cushion if you need to have that under the back of your head. And just continue the practice of gathering prana into your heart. So like a nourishment for your soul. Reach out into the universe and bring a fragment of that love and support into your heart space. Bring healing energy into your heart. So as you inhale, let your awareness travel out beyond your personal self into the wider sphere of the universe, not just the wider sphere of Canberra, but much further beyond space, beyond all boundaries. We are part of that whole. Extend your awareness out beyond your individual self into something greater, some higher power, a greater expanse, the cosmos, the universe. Feel the thread that connects. And tuck a fragment into your heart space. And when you're ready, or if you're ready, make some small movements. Make some little small rhythmic rocking movements. Or of course you can just stay right where you are on the floor. But if you'd like to prepare, make your breath stronger, take a couple of stretches. And then make your way to sit. And I do believe that Lynn is going to take us out today to finish off our session. Thank you, Lynn, when you're ready. Turn your microphone on, that's it.
Just getting conscious and thank you, Pam. That was lovely as always and very replenishing and invigorating and all the right things to start the day.
Just tilt your camera so that we can see the top of your head. That's it. Then we can see who you are.
Is that okay?
Lynn, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Look, I've got some rambling thoughts today as I reflected on our term of yoga and a couple of terms.
Ramble away. Good.
So I got some ramblings which I've jotted down, and then a poem which I find interesting, and I hope you do too at the end. So I was reflecting on what a gift our little yoga session has been each Tuesday. in this kind of crazy world we're in at the moment, where all sorts of things are being thrown at us. We seem to be bombarded with health things, pandemic things, climate things, weather things, family things, looking at what's happening in Ukraine. And somehow we have to try to inoculate ourselves or find ways to gather up all the great things that happen to counterbalance all of that. And I was thinking back over all the things we've done this year. And I know sometimes they've been telling us we should gather together a kit bag of things to have on hand when or if we should become ill or get COVID or whatever, have this kit bag of, you know, thermometers and Panadol and lozenges and all this stuff. And I thought, yep, I've got that kit bag ready. But I think a really important kit bag we need to have is the kit bag of things that we get through yoga, through exercise, through nature, through music, through art, literature, all those other beautiful things that are also a really important range of things to put in our kit bag for our own emotional, psychological survival. And we're very lucky to be able to do lots of those things. And I guess what comes out of that is a real appreciation of Pam's skills as a yoga teacher and capacity to help us physically, and then to tap into our psyche and release other things in that process. So that notion of being together in a collective belonging, tapping into something else within a universal context, our connection with the earth and so forth. I think the work on chakras really helped us with that last term. It certainly helped me, and it seemed to release a lot of things in people that came to the surface. And I've tucked all those things into my kit bag for survival because I thought they were very powerful and very important and opened us to all sorts of possibilities. Pam's pearls of wisdom, of course, were always there too. So I was thinking back to the quote from the Dalai Lama about carrying the earth within us, and Pam referring to that as the highest form of prayer. And I think that's probably what we do tap into each week when we go deeply into ourselves and find those other capacities. Not to forget, of course, vitamin J for joy, which has been such an important thing. So I feel as though Pam's created a little cocoon of trust here on a Tuesday morning, and there have been many gifts from the group, and I wanted to just think about those gifts and to thank everyone for putting those things out there. Thinking back to Liz's very moving and powerful story of her life, her times of disengagement and her great capacity to re-engage and heal in this year of truth-telling. And I thought that was an extremely powerful and important sharing with us, and that one's gone into my kit bag. Trish's story for resilience, finding her voice, valuing herself, engaging with the Women's Climate Congress, the Chorus of Women, and the beautiful poem she offered from Dorothy Cameron, The Singing Hill, which I looked up all those links, thanks Trish, and thought that the words that the chanting is beginning, the humming has begun, the shouting will be stilled, the healing of the planet will begin, was such an important statement, and that real groundswell of something going on with women that's really going to be something we need to help change the direction that things are going. Ilsa told her story of another meaningful reconnection with people in her family. I can't remember the specifics of that, but I remember the feeling of how important that was in her connection. Helen Hall gave us The Wide Open Sky, that really heartwarming outback choir, and linked to the film about a wonderful woman, Michelle, helping children tap into extraordinary talents and capacities that they had, which would go on and help them to become what they needed to become in the world. And I've seen that working as a school counsellor and psychologist. I've seen that in all my schools over the decades, that if you can really support those inner strengths and talents of children, that they absolutely blossom and thrive on those things. So important if we're thinking of the future. I thought of Meryl's poems, and I know Meryl lost a close friend recently, she mentioned, which I was very sad to hear of that, having been through that myself. And I was just really intrigued with some of Meryl's poems, the Kabir one, I think, inside the clay jar, the God whom I love is inside, my beloved master lives inside. That notion of that we all have that central power and capacity within us, interconnectedness, interdependence of all things, going back to what Pam had said in her Pearls of Wisdom too. As serious as a heart attack, a heart is more than a muscle. Love is a river with more than we can ever swallow, no matter how thirsty. What a great line. And of course, now I become myself, when Pam was talking about becoming aware of who we really are. And that poem was so relevant because Meryl was feeling a bit not herself at the time. And the line, now stand still to be here, feel my own weight and density, I thought was just something that really tapped into probably how we all are at the end of a yoga session too, which is great. I did enjoy Meryl's humour too that day when she said, you know, sometimes it's a case of bless this mess, because we don't quite know fully how all the things that are going on within us sit, but how important it is to sit in that place. Helen Swan, I was thinking of you with all the years that your little shoulders have given out to other people, and your skills, and helped people with, and kids with, realising their potential and experiencing the beauty of music and singing and so forth. And I hope your little shoulders are kinder to you, because they did a great job giving out to so many. So I guess I was just thinking this was a great way to add all these things into our little kit bag for survival and offer them out to the world. I'm sure there are little groups of women all over the place thinking of things like this and trying to produce good energies and good feelings to offer out in compassion to other people. We see that at the moment with Ukraine in so many ways. So it made me think of a little poem that I read recently, which I don't think I fully understand, but I like the way it suggests that there's a lot of potential there with women that is going to be more and more important. So it's called Women of a Certain Age, and it was written by Bronwyn Lee, who is an Australian poet. I think she's an academic at the University of Queensland now, but I'll read this for you. Women of a certain age. Women of a certain age are waking up in the middle of things. Birth and death feel blessedly far away. The raw edge of real. Departure and arrival a distant memory. Days fleeting in restful harmony like leaves seen through a window, drifting with all the others until they are reimagined again by light and time and rain. Women of a certain age are waking to the sound of their breathing, which through the long dark hours has frightened them. In their worry to light up a few inches of the universe, a fraction of the infinite, however minute, they are waking before dawn to witness the victory of light. The capture of every single trench of shadow. The dawn will be theirs to hold a little while, its lightness. They will forget some of what they've experienced and remember what they are, and what they are born with, including that which is too early to remember. Women of a certain age, loving this lightness, are rolling onto their sides, rising out of their beds and out of their bodies, imagining themselves free of the earth and its drive to replace them. They are speeding like comets over the edge of the universe, falling and flying out of the familiar, plummeting into the unknown to arrive at a new hospitable household, having slipped away without goodbyes. Only smoke as they burn, bluer and bluer, on the last drop of fuel found only in the bodies of women of a certain age. So I hope that has some relevance and interest to you. I'm still trying to figure parts of it out.
Thank you so much, Lynn. That's a very worthwhile ending to our term. And if you don't mind, well, perhaps I can Google it and find the words to send to everyone, or maybe you could scan it and send it to me and I can email it on. One way or the other, we'll get some time to digest that and think about that and see how it settles into the body. I'll just say thank you, everyone, for coming along on Tuesday mornings. So we're going to have a 2-week break, and then we'll be back again if you'd like to join the Zoom block of 7 weeks. So I do hope you'll join me. And let's just finish with 3 slow OMs. So sit up tall and take a breath. Om Shanti. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Pam.
your little break. Enjoy the autumn.
Thank you. You too.
To Pam. And are you going away?
I'm going away for 1 week. Yes, we're going north to Queensland to Mermaid Beach for 1 week. So
Lovely.
packing a few T-shirts, I hope.
Yes. Enjoy and safe travel.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and you all stay well and hope to see you back in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.